keep getting more awareness as to what we can do to be healthier. But then how do you integrate that into your life? That becomes a process.
I feel like you have a big story with that, and just taking the time to figure out like what is going on here. Like, why am I feeling like crap all the time? I'm not able to do the things wanting to do, because your health affects your entire life. I
Absolutely.
think if you're not eating well and not nourishing yourself, I think there's no chance everything else is going to go okay, because you won't have the energy, your mind isn't clear, you've got brain fog, you're lazy. So I think it's those little steps and behaviors that start to shift your mind, you know. So those little steps of, I'm going to wake up 30 minutes before I usually do and just do 10 push-ups. Like, it could be that simple one day. I'm going to eat one vegetable today. Okay, maybe the rest of the day you ate junk, but like, just make a small step, and eventually those little steps turn into habits and things that you can't live without. Like, I know I don't feel good if I don't work out. And a workout could be a 45-minute walk for me. It doesn't have to be intense. But gosh, the difference that makes in my day. I am not productive. I don't want to eat that healthy. I might not do all the things I'm supposed to get done that day because I just started my day off wrong, with like laziness and procrastination, other than taking a stride and a step towards health.
It's interesting what our food choices do to the rest of our day.
Oh, yeah. I think that is like a crazy game changer. Because there's a lot more information out there now as far as, how different foods affect our brain. But I think if you start your day off with like loads of carbs and sugar and the sugary coffee, which I'm very guilty of, but when you start your day off that way, you're kind of doomed for the rest of the day. You don't feel right, you don't have energy. It can literally cause depression, anxiety, moodiness. I know I actually get really bad heart palpitations and anxiety when I eat a lot of gluten. It's a really weird one for me, but I started to notice it, and that's a hard one to cut out. But I don't feel good, and I don't feel right, and I get literally like almost depressed with too much gluten and sugar in my diet. So I think people just need to be a little bit more aware, keeping a food journal, taking notes, and kind of being your own doctor. I'm a firm believer in that.
It's interesting. Like I've had, obviously, you're aware of this. My friends know about this, but I've got this nightshade allergy, and nightshades are like a lot of different foods. So that
Yep.
ends up with me having to go to restaurants and being the guy that is like the difficult customer and
Mm-hmm.
asking, hey, what ingredients are in this food? Because for the people that aren't familiar, nightshade foods are tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, and peppers, except for black pepper. Black pepper is good, but all other pepper related seasonings are nightshade foods.
Yep.
So you go to a place, they season your meat with like paprika or chili or anything that spices it up.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, that now becomes a nightshade food. That becomes a food that I personally can't have.
Right.
And for me, I know that it's worth doing my due diligence to ensure that I cannot, like, that I can avoid eating those foods. But not every place is equipped or educated or has the knowledge to deal with that and execute on that. Like, so many people are not aware of what the foods are. So many restaurants do not have the processes in place to ensure that food comes out to people who have allergies in a certain way. Now, there's the business side of things, which you want to cater to the many, not to the few. So that's the understandable part of, hey, don't go and season one steak specially for one customer type of thing. So
Right.
certain people have their processes more scalable at restaurants. So that's understandable. But I guess what I'm getting at is there's people out there who have these different food sensitivities and allergies, and everybody's body is different. Everybody reacts different to different foods. And I think it's important to learn what foods you agree with and don't agree with, and eat for like functionality and nourishment. Taste is great, but functionality and nourishment really is what's going to help move you forward in life.
Yeah, I think that's a huge topic too, is the whole, world around foodies and, changing. We're really eating for the experience and not for the nourishment, which, I mean, I'm a chef, so I'm very guilty of that. A lot of what I do is for the experience, but I do think it's important, like you're saying, in your everyday life to notice that. And for you, it's interesting because you might get looks or some small amount of judgment for your allergies, but I fully believe it. Like, I understand that, and I understand what it feels like to feel awful all the time. And so when you're on the other side of that, it's like, there's no way in heck I am letting anything get in the way of me feeling my best. And for you, it's nightshades.
Yeah.
And you know that. And it's also very scientific that nightshades affect a lot of people. I went on a diet for my autoimmune thing, and a huge thing was nightshades that I couldn't have because they cause inflammation for a lot of people. And it's part of because how certain foods are chemically processed today. But yeah, you have to be strong in kind of sticking to your gut and knowing, like, I might get looks, I might be the difficult one, but I have to do this in order to stay healthy for myself. And I think that ideology transfers to everything in life. Like, I'm going to get up early. No one's pushing me. I'm going to spend time with God. No one's pushing that. I am going to stay strong in my beliefs. I might get judgment, but it's all of those little things tie in together. So I think you prioritizing your health is like a huge step in all of those other directions too with your life.